It's time for the Bison Beat with KSJB Sports Director Kyle Dean and voice of the Bison, Jeff Culhane. Brought to you by First Class Aviation Maintenance and Flight School and FTC of Lisbon, North Dakota. Now, here's Kyle Dean and Jeff Culhane.
Well, it is November officially in North Dakota, and it's a beautiful November day. Kyle Dean here with you. We're on the Bison Beat on AM 600 KSJB, and we're online at ksjbam.com. Joining me over the telephone is the one and only voice of the Bison. It's Jeff Culhane. Hey, Jeff, how you doing today?
Kyle, great to be with you. It's an exciting day for North Dakota State with the ribbon cutting and unveiling of the Shield Center at the Stanford Health Athletic Complex. So a lot of excitement here in Fargo today with this new venue.
And who are the Bison taking on tonight in that?
Yeah, it's an exhibition game versus Concordia Moorhead, the Cobbers out of Division III. But you know, tonight's not really a whole lot about the opponent. It's about the new venue and the hard work and all the effort and the leadership by everyone involved here to make this $50 million project, all through private donations to make it happen and make it complete. And it's been an exciting day, I'll tell you. This place, for those fans that have watched Bison basketball over the years at the old Bison Sports Arena, at the old BSA, this is a wow factor. It's a night and day facility, and really brings North Dakota State with their basketball program and a lot of their other Olympic sports to a whole nother level at Division I.
That's just awesome. Now, do you get your own little booth up there, brand new space?
We're courtside. Yep, they have us courtside calling the game. So the facilities here are Division I level. The media facilities are certainly that as well. And I can't wait to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to calling a game tonight.
Man, that's awesome, and that's kind of cool. Basketball, you'll be doing basketball, but you're also been busy doing football too for this season. And my oh my is what I could say is because the football team has been on a roll right now, but they still need to get past the hump, it looks like, because their last game versus Northern Iowa, they won, but it was almost a comeback for Northern Iowa, wasn't it?
Well, Kyle, the Bison are playing some pretty good football teams, and I know they have not pulled away and made things easy, I think, like fans would like, but they're playing some quality teams. We all know how tough it is when the Bison go down to the Unidome and play Northern Iowa. They have had only won once there in the Missouri Valley Football Conference era since 2008. So those wins don't come easy, and this team right now by no means is a finished product, which I think is pretty exciting because they're 7-1 and a lot of people's number one team in the country still. So I'm looking forward to watching this team take it to the next level in the final month of the regular season.
And after listening to the game after the high school playoff game that I did on Saturday, I've heard that some of the players stepped up. Definitely Matt Plank. My goodness, Matt Plank sounds pretty awesome for this season so far.
Well, Matt Plank has taken his opportunity, and he has ran with it. He played a Nick DeLuca-type game Saturday night as he led the team in tackles, had a big interception off a deflection late in the ball game to help secure the win. And that's just a young man who has stepped up, and when this team lost one of the best players in the country, Matt Plank has filled in a big-time way and has taken advantage of that opportunity. I'm happy for him. He's worked his tail off, and the execution is showing out there on the field with what he's doing in Missouri Valley Football Conference play.
And I also heard that King Frazier had an injury for this last game. Is he okay or anything on that, I guess?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet, Kyle. He hurt his ribs in the second quarter. King's a tough guy, so obviously he was in a lot of pain. No structural, as far as no fracture, no breaking of any of the ribs in his body, so that was good news. But for checking structural damage as far as the cartilage is concerned, not sure about that. The one thing we do know, it is not a season-ending injury, so good news there.
Okay, that's very good news for that. And looking at some of the other scores from last week, like we do every week for the FCS score breakdown, what are some games that we have to watch out for since, the season is starting to wind down heading towards the playoffs there, Jeff?
Well, I'll stick with the Missouri Valley, Kyle, and I think obviously the win by Illinois State over South Dakota State, 37-21, 38-21 rather, is a huge game in so many ways because it gives South Dakota State a loss, which means the Bison and Youngstown State are in a three-way tie right now with the Jackrabbits. but it also means for Illinois State that their season is not dead. If they win out, they win their next 2 games, that means they're 6-5 with an FBS win over Northwestern, and that win is looking better and better each week the way Northwestern has been playing in the Big Ten Conference. So that was a big win, I felt like, for Illinois State, and a big loss as far as the standings are concerned in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. And then looking at this week's opponent, Youngstown State, they're really struggling on offense right now. They did not score an offensive touchdown, only one offensive touchdown in the last 8 quarters. Had a 79-yard punt return for a touchdown from Darian Townsend that gave them the go-ahead and propelled them to a victory. So offensively, they're struggling right now, but come into Fargo with a great defense and great special teams this weekend.
And it should be a fun time this weekend. And before we start talking about a little bit more about this game, we're going to take a quick break. And hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about more Bison football and maybe some Bison basketball a little bit, since their first game is tonight and their new place to play at here on AM 600 KSJB.
Did you ever look to the skies and dream of flying an airplane? Quit dreaming and contact First Class Aviation to schedule your discovery flight, where a first-class instructor will take you up in one of their airplanes. Call 952-1515, 952-1515. Aircraft maintenance is also available. Just call to schedule your aircraft. And they offer aircraft rental, too. Owners are NDSU Bison team makers at First Class Aviation, Flight School, and Aircraft Maintenance at Jamestown Airport. Go Bison!
Don't give up on your soybeans too early. Hi, I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company. Far too often we see yield left on the table because either the growing season just wore people down or they simply were tired of spending more money. If a $5 investment turned into $10 to $40 in a month, would you do it? To find these opportunities, keep scouting your fields all the way until the soybeans start to turn yellow. There's a potential for a very nice crop. Don't leave yield on the table by giving up on your soybeans too early. Call 1-800-27-HEFTY for the answers to your agronomic questions.
Down in the gun, takes the snap, back to pass, looks over the middle, pass deflected, picked off, intercepted, picked off by North Dakota State. That's Matt Plank. Yes!
After a big-time win by North Dakota State at Northern Iowa, the Bison return back to Gate City Bank Field at the Fargo Dome. Hi, this is Jeff Culhane. Join me and our entire network broadcast crew Saturday as NDSU takes on a great defense coming to town in Youngstown State. Pre-game coverage begins at 2 p.m. on the Peterson Farm Seed Bison Radio Network.
NDSU Bison football right here on AM 600 KSJB and online at ksjbam.com. Hey, we're back here on the Bison Beats, Wednesdays, 2:30 to 2:45. Here with myself, Kyle Dean, and also Jeff Culhane. We're online at ksjbam.com. And let's head back to Fargo, where we're speaking to voice of the Bison himself, Jeff Culhane. Once again, Jeff, thank you for joining us for this program that we have here every Wednesday.
You bet, Kyle. Always great to talk to you. It's an exciting time of year. A lot going on.
Oh, yes, there is a lot going on. Now, talking about this upcoming game versus Youngstown State, they have a 6-2 overall record. They're, like you said, tied in the Missouri Valley. And this game is very important for the entire playoff picture, I guess you could say. What are the Bison worrying about the most for like their offense or defense, anything? What are we going to expect on Saturday afternoon?
Well, Kyle, Youngstown State is one of the best defenses in the country. Their head coach, Bo Pelini, is one of the best defensive minds in all of football, not just college football, FCS or FBS, but at all levels. The guy has a complex, expansive defensive mind and system, and he has implemented that in year 2 at Youngstown State. They have got 2 elite-level defensive ends in Derek Rivers and Avery Moss, who are NFL-quality players along the perimeter. Their secondary's veterans. They are, along with NDSU, I would say the 2 top defenses in the Valley. So defensively, they're great. Special teams, they're very good. They're having some issues offensively at quarterback. They've used 4 different quarterbacks this year and are going to probably start their 3rd-string guy, Hunter Wells. Would not be shocked to see 2 quarterbacks in this game Saturday if Ricky Davis is healthy and feels like he is confident and ready to go. So Youngstown State is a very, very good defensive team. They're very, very good in special teams, not so good offensively. The Bison are looking to take that next step on the offensive side of the football, but it is going to be a huge challenge on Saturday.
And, I was looking at last year's game score. The Bison were actually down, and they came back and won that game 27-24. And it's in Fargo this year, which definitely helps the Bison, doesn't it?
Definitely. You look at the scene, you look at the atmosphere, and yes, the Fargo Dome, Gate City Bank Field, one of the elite level facilities and atmospheres in all of FCS college football. That being said, Youngstown State will come in here ready to play. I guarantee you they remember what happened a year ago, as you just laid out, down up 2 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter at home and unable to hang on, losing 27-24. Bo Pelini will have them ready to go. It's going to be an outstanding football game and an outstanding atmosphere for the Harvest Bowl this weekend.
Oh, yes, the Harvest Bowl, and they're wearing their Harvest helmets, aren't they, for this weekend?
That's right. Yep, they're going to wear the Harvest green helmets with the gold wheat on top, the gold tops, the gold jerseys. They've had a lot of success in those uniforms, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a festive atmosphere and always, of course, connects with the agricultural heritage of the state of North Dakota.
Oh, yes, I definitely can't wait for this football game. But now we're going to shift gears a little bit, talk a little Bison basketball since you do call those games. Just for the last segment here, what are we seeing from the Bison basketball team this year?
Well, they definitely have a great chance to be pretty good. They're picked third in the Summit League, 6 returners off of last year's squad that missed the NCAA tournament by 1 game. They have a nice mix of newcomers as well, led by Dang Gu, who comes from Sioux Falls, Washington, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He has not played a ton of basketball in his career. This is his 7th year of playing competitive basketball, but tremendously athletic and has a huge upside and great potential. Jared Samuelson from Gretna, Nebraska, is a tremendous true freshman, as is Tyson Ward, the lefty from Tampa, Florida. And then you look at the returners, Paul Miller, Dexter Werner, just to name a few, Kai Cabellas, Carlin Dupree. Those guys lead the charge for this basketball program that have made 2 tournaments, NCAA tournaments, in the last 3 seasons.
And, I actually watched when they made those tournaments, and honestly, it's kind of cool to see a North Dakota school in the big dance. I think that's so much fun to see North Dakota State on the big dance on TV. It's just so much fun just to watch it on the national stage. But, of course, you're the new voice of the Bison for some basketball action, and are you excited? It sounds like you're super excited for some b-ball action to start.
Oh, Kyle, I'm fired up. I mean, hoops is a great game to call, as you know, and this new arena, this new venue brings a whole nother flavor and another expectation and level to North Dakota State University basketball. So I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm proud to be a part of it, and I can't wait to start it tonight.
And that is tonight. And when is their next game after this one then for the basketball team?
Yeah, the exhibition game is tonight. The regular season opener here at the Shield Center at the Stanford Health Athletic Complex is next Friday, High School Championship Friday. It's Friday, November 11th in here versus Arkansas State.
All right, that's pretty cool. Well, that's going to wrap up for today, Jeff. And before you go, the Bison football game, what time's the pregame, kickoff, and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, pregame is at 2 o'clock right here on KSJB and all across the Peterson Farm Feed Bison Radio Network. So 2 p.m. pregame, kickoff set for 2:30 Saturday.
All right, hey, once again, thank you very much, Jeff. Have fun tonight calling that basketball game, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, all right?
Thanks, Kyle. Have a good one.
You too. See you later. That's once again voice of the Bison, Jeff Culhane, for today's Bison Beat here on KSJB. Of course, every Wednesday, 2:30 to 2:45 here on KSJB and KSJBAM.com.